Greetings, everybody. Greetings. I sound like the conch from Sesame Street. Greetings. Greetings. But here we are again, Mama Lou, Papa Lance. We are here once more. Our hearts are quieted. Our minds are quieted. And we are about to have lunch. And this lunch is what you would call an extension of Dinesh and Vid's son, Sunil, right? We were down there yesterday. We were with Azisha, and Lasana was with us, and they gave us so much food. I think Azisha, for those who believe that we are freeloaders, I want to tell you that we have leftover food from what Azisha sponsored, right?
In love, she felt that she wanted to do something nice for us.
Mm-hmm.
And when someone extends kindness, we have to receive it graciously.
Very good, very good.
We're not going to be proud and say, oh, no, we are fine. We don't want no free food from you. Azisha is like a daughter to us now.
Mm-hmm.
And if she wanted to do something nice to us, we appreciate it and we love her very much. Not for what she can do for us, but we love her as a person.
And for who she is, really.
And who she is.
And I also want to say to Dinesh and Vids, thank you very much. You all have been very supportive. We appreciate it very much.
And those sweet stuff, sweeten us up, man.
Yes, girl, Vids.
Those sweet things sweeten us up.
We were able to share them with our granddaughters down the road there, and
Yes.
they really appreciated it. So once again, we are just going to have a little meal. It's a beautiful meal. We'll just say grace quietly, and then we will talk as we go along. We also have, from Azisha, we also have a beautiful dragon fruit.
From her homegrown.
Homegrown. Mm-hmm. So
we also even have dessert.
So we have dessert. Mm-hmm.
This kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
They are great for their barbecue and their sides. Very delicious. They do a pasta to the side, and that is so delicious. It has a nice sweetish flavor, yet there's a peppery flavor coming through. Oh, it is awesome.
So, I have been thinking a little bit there. I found this little bell, and my thoughts have been on Hollywood. And I'll tell you why in a little while. Hollywood, see, it's written there. So I've been thinking about Hollywood, two Hollywoods that we visited. The first was in 1998, was it?
No. When we went to California?
Yeah.
No, man, that's in 2000 with Joe and Gary.
Okay. Joe and Gary.
Maybe 2018,
is it?
15 or something like that. Mm-hmm.
You know, ever since I was a little fella living in Cora there, I used to go to what they call 12:30 or 4:30. But mainly 12:30. It used to be 25 cents to go into what they call house. I think pit was 15 cents. It's not that those who went pit couldn't afford it. But pit was really the place where boys, men will go and relax and could put their foot up on the seat.
Make noise.
Make noise. So, but house was there where you would have taken your family.
And balcony was for couples.
Balcony with house. Balcony with house couples.
Mostly couples went to balcony.
Mm-hmm. So, it had always been my dream to visit the West because I had liked a lot of Westerns. Like Mr. Sutton, reading about Louis L'Amour and riding in the trails in the West. I guess we were of that era. So when we went
to across Lancy, the lamb is delicious.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll get to the lamb just now. But you know, when we went to Colorado and we walked up the hills from where we were staying at this visitor center, and you had the big rocks and you had the trail and you could see a stage. You could imagine a stagecoach coming around, and you're looking for stars like John Wayne, Randolph Scott, and all these fellas, you know, Lee Van Cleef and Clint Eastwood, Eli Wallach. All these were a kind of youthful heroes. So that was the genesis of Hollywood, you could say, the movie world. And when we went to California, it was quite exciting to see on the pavement, you know, the names of stars, and you actually walked along and there were stars like Lou Costello, Boris Karloff, Sophia Loren, and you felt a thrill to stand, you know, on one of these blocks. With the names written on it on the pavement, right? It's like the Hall of Fame walk.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, you know, it was costly to get, for one star to be placed, the name in cement there and, you know, emblazoned like on the pavement. It will of course almost 30,000. I think they're talking about American dollars here, about 30,000. So you felt okay. The disappointing thing about Hollywood now, that Hollywood that we visited, there's so many things coming up now about the private life of movie stars. You wonder, you know, maybe I wasted my time trying to idolize these people. Of course, their acting talent, their talent on the screen couldn't be questioned. But their private life, people are making such mileage now of the private life of all these actors that you wonder who really was a good hero out there. You know, who was a real good hero out there. So that was Hollywood. And then we were taken on a tour of Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills, where most of these actors acquired homes,
beautiful homes,
palatial homes.
Palatial homes.
But the thing about it is that these homes were all tightly shut. Maybe it was the season where fellas like, and the driver kept saying, "This home here belongs to Nicolas Cage." Nicolas Cage. You know,
such enthusiasm, eh?
Yeah, and I felt, you know, Nicolas Cage should have come out and greeted us, simple West Indians. He should have come out there and greeted us. But it didn't happen that way. All these homes, and what's this guy's name again? Forgotten this guy who acted in Titanic. Big star. All these people actually, their homes are closed.
They're more like monuments.
Eddie Murphy probably has a home up there in Beverly Hills. We didn't see him. We were driven all over the hill. And Hollywood, there's a big Hollywood sign. And the peculiar thing about this Hollywood sign is, as time went by, a lot of actresses actually committed suicide off that big banner, threw themselves, right? And a lot of actors also have committed suicide, shot themselves, drank themselves to death. It seemed to be a very depressing world to be in, the movie world. So that's it for the Hollywood side of life. And then, a week ago, or maybe 12 days ago, we went to another Hollywood. And this time it's called Hollywood Airport, Fort Lauderdale. And everyone there had a mission to either go to Boston, wherever, Cuba, Chicago. We were coming back home, right? We sat down there. There were some Guyanese people all around us. They were coming to Trinidad, no doubt, to catch a, you know, to move on in transit to Guyana. The thing about it is this. We sat there very quietly, and the impressive thing is, a woman came up to us asking us whether we were Lance and Louise. And she brought with her a son whom I erroneously labeled as 13 years old. And Liam, I am very sorry that I put you down as 13 years old.
Maybe he was so mature.
Yes, he had, but he was very respectful, very quiet, and I really liked his approach. And the mother is Rochelle, and they live in Faizabad. So I want to extend again my thanks that Rochelle came forward and Liam came forward. Quite a shy boy, but willing to be there. They asked about Miss Sastana, and I really appreciated that in this Hollywood, these people were the stars. Quite different to the Hollywood that we went to some years back. But these people were the stars. I like their approach that they came forward. They came forward to greet us. I walked across after to meet her husband, Rochelle's husband, Sheldon. And she said, I'm so happy that you came across to say hello to my husband. And you know, that's something that we have to be concerned about.
Like I will not start to talk to you with it.
No, this is okay. Mama Lou, don't worry about my plate.
My plate empty now, you know.
Yes, but don't look at my plate, please. This is my plate, right? But thank you for the help that you want to extend. So, I enjoy very much when people can reach out and say, you know, we're so and so, and that really helps. Now, 2 other stars came into our lives last night, and one is called Savvy, a very bubbly woman. Never seen her, never heard of her before, but Savvy came forward.
She ran.
She rang, yes, she rang, of course.
So
and
she came.
when she came forward by phone,
Oh.
is that not possible? Anyway, Savvy came, and Savvy happened to live in the southern part, you know, of Trinidad here. And then her husband also came on, Gavin. And I appreciated that these people could reach out and say what the channel is doing for them. These are the stars, not the Hollywood stars, but these are the real stars in our society. Then again, today, a man called, and I want to big him up also. His name is, let me see if I can get this right.
Oh my goodness. You're so terrible with names. Better you don't call him my name, I call you wrong name.
No. His name is Samson Maraj. Samson Maraj, I enjoy talking to you this morning. Samson Maraj, really. And he's from I guess he works in the Port Spain area. Samson Maraj is looking forward to meeting us, and we are just available, Samson. Available that you should come forward and do that. Then we had to go to the mall, and we met 2 more stars today. And it's a namesake, Susan Baptiste, and her husband, Alec. Her husband, Alec. I am very thankful for the stars in our midst. Not so long ago, a little girl came home, and she really loves Mama Lou. And this is what she left behind. She took her time to draw this little thing. I won't call her name, I won't say where she lives, but she says, I love you, Mama Lou, I love you. I wish I can be with you forever. She drew all these little things. These are the stars in our midst. People with kind hearts, people with soft hearts, people with good intentions, people with smiles on their faces. Smiles on their faces.
I want to big up Vince's Kitchen Boy.
Ah,
This food today tastes better than it tasted yesterday.
really?
Wow! I mean, the food was delicious, but I could hardly take it. Normally reheated food is not as good as the fresh food. Big up to, what's the son name?
Sunil.
Sunil. And for the generous serving. And thank you, Azisha, again, my dear. It was so special to see you. And thank you so much for giving us a treat. We appreciate it very much. Thank you so much. Nancy, it's now my turn to talk. I was eating while he was talking. This Vid's kitchen is in where? Freeport?
Heading towards Felicity.
Heading towards Felicity.
You have to excuse Mama Lou. Mama Lou.
It's bad with names and places and faces.
Names and places.
And faces.
Direction. I think Mama Lou only knows.
Mama don't only know how to laugh.
And
That's one of my strengths.
Mama Lou knows only the road to Ikakas.
And that's a straight road, a straight and narrow road. I always tell Lance, once you turn me around in a different direction, I kind of where I am now.
Yeah, you're lost. You're disoriented.
But as I told him, I said, Lance, Ikakas was one straight road. You go and you come back on the same road. So that's what I'm used to for many years.
That is why she wanted to marry somebody who knew the country. Because if she ventured on her own, she wouldn't make it back home.
And boy, when you see those big roads in Florida and so, yes, if I was living there, I will be losing. All I'll be doing is driving around, trying to find where I live.
Pulling into the gas station, pulling up, and still can't find where she's going.
But it's wonderful to be back home to support Lasana. I mean, leaving Lyndon and the kids behind, knowing that this holiday was planned for a long time, I know there was a certain amount of disappointment, even on my part. But we have to know where we are needed most, and one can hardly enjoy the fun and pleasure that holiday would have brought, knowing that you have another child that needs you. So we want to thank God we had a safe flight back, and Lasana is safely home and doing very well. And God is good. God is good. Mama Lou can smile and laugh again. Thank God for that.
Okay, Mama Lou, I want to discuss, and I know we were talking about this morning. We read some things this morning in a book that I wouldn't name because there may be too many copyright things.
Daddy, can I get some water, please?
Sure. This says you cannot belong entirely to others and no one can be entirely yours. What do you make of that?
Well, that kind of supports when I say love in the heart for all. I kind of like it, that love in the heart for all, because sometimes people have the tendency that when they love you very much, they try to possess you and have you in a glass cage, and you belong only to them.
Right.
Well, that is like you belong to this person only. But I always like the freedom to know that there is room in my heart to love everyone, whether it is children, whether it is my grandchildren or somebody else's grandchildren. I love other people's grandchildren. A lot of people put all their eggs in one basket and love only their very own. Well, that's natural because people consider your bloodline. And that's great that your bloodline will have priority over others. But we should not make that our main, that they belong to us and we belong to them. And to me, that's what you know, from what you are reading here, make me think that to have that freedom to love others.
But you cannot belong entirely to others, and no one can be entirely yours.
That's right. But if you are possessive, this will be the results.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Now you're coming to the words that are right.
If you are possessive with those whom you love, you believe you belong only to me, and you expect that the person will think you alone belong to them. But when there's a free spirit, nobody belongs to anybody, but we know that there are boundaries. That's a new word I am learning, you know.
Yeah. You thought it was only for property?
So you have to give people their space. To me, that's what it's saying. Nobody belong entirely to you. Like, for instance, let's say, for instance, personalizing it. You are my husband, I'm your wife. We love each other. We've been married for 53 years. But that doesn't mean you cannot speak to other people and be friendly. But there's boundaries.
Yes, you must have that sense.
You know what I mean? Because you can't figure, well, okay, so I don't belong to you and you don't own me and I could do what I want.
No, you can't.
There are boundaries in life.
Especially in marriage.
In marriage particularly. I'm not saying that you must not, you have to have blinkers, you can't look at another person crossing the road in the very front of you, that you can't look at them. But if you're turning back and you're disrespectful and watching the person till they disappear out of sight, that is something that calls for some kind of tap. That calls for a tap, you know. That does not mean that you belong to the person and they belong entirely to you. But there must be respect. There must be respect. Respect your relationship. Respect to who you are as a husband or a wife. I do not condone to husband and wife flirting. Flirting with your husband, flirting with other women, or vice versa.
Excuse me.
You could be pleasant, you could be polite, you could be charming.
Excuse me. There is a vigor in your tone. There's a vigor in your tone that this subject is very sensitive, right?
No, man.
Yeah, there's a vigor.
Okay. No, well, I think that, I don't know if I'm straying from the point that you are saying there. I am saying, according to the book, nobody belongs entirely to you, or neither do they belong to you entirely.
Okay.
Is that it, right?
Okay, very good. So therefore, if you meet someone who says to you, or you recognize somebody is a very controlling force in a marriage, right? Controlling force in a marriage.
Well, in your own marriage you're talking about? You're talking about your own marriage?
No, not our marriage. But you meet someone who says, you know, I have a situation in my hand where my spouse, right? My spouse is seeking to control my life. Now remember, you said that no one can be entirely yours. So right. we have to bear in mind that marriage is not it's not a claim.
No.
You don't have
No.
Excuse me, you don't have a claim on somebody's life.
No. But there are certain
guidelines. Guidelines, right.
That we have to be respectful. I don't believe that a husband, I mean, over the years, you have been a man, you would not even go into my handbag. I would say, Lance, go into my handbag, and you would say, no, Louise.
Louise is booby trapped.
Right. And I respected it. But
Go ahead.
But at the same time, you should have a good enough relationship that would be okay. Like, for instance, Lance share my phone, and I don't feel that that's my private phone and you should not be using my phone, or vice versa, I should not be using his phone. No, but there are some people who will hold very strongly, they don't let their phone out of sight at all. But I respect that people have their privacy, and really and truly you cannot be disrespectful. But I still hold dearly that
Yes,
as a
hold.
husband and wife, I
Okay,
still
what's up?
hold closely to my heart as a husband and wife
Okay.
that
Well, boy, we didn't make it to prices. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I kind of, yeah, I loosen my trend. But I do hold closely that
Okay, good.
there
Let's talk about the more than is it.
are certain things that
Well, I
we
know.
should
We'll see how it goes.
really
Okay, now. Is everything okay?
have respect for. I think my thoughts is a little bit distracted at the moment.
Okay, darling, yeah. We will talk again. I'm doing something right now. So we will talk, right? Okay, love. Great. So what, you lost your trend just because I left you for a few minutes?
Yeah, you see, when you talking,
Okay. So go ahead, mommy. Where did you reach?
no, well, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure. What
I heard
I'm
you
trying
say
to
something
say.
about, that Lance shares your phone. So you have
Right.
nothing to hide.
Yes,
And he has nothing to look for.
right.
And I would not look for,
Yeah,
even so.
right.
I won't scroll through your phone.
Right.
And you don't scroll through my phone.
You think so?
What? What is it again?
No, but I know there are some people are very private about those things. So I am not saying this is how it should be or this is how it should not be. I am saying for us, this is how we operate.
That is true.
But I am not saying that another couple, that is the way they have to operate. But what I'm trying to say is that in marriage, we have to respect how others feel.
Very true.
And that could be, it is not that the person is controlling. If you understand what I mean.
Okay, go ahead.
What we're trying to talk about is control. And I am trying to say, we have to be able to know when it's control and when it's concern, and when it is for your best, taking in front before in front take you. You know? Okay, for instance, I don't know how people will feel about this, but if you see, for instance, that your husband is extremely kind to someone, and there is a familiarity, you have allowed him to be free to suit his personality, but if you sense that, hey, this is a little too familiar, isn't it correct for a wife or a husband to talk about it?
I suppose so, but I would say how you talk about it is important.
Right.
How you address it is important.
Of course. Always.
If you appear to be the very jealous type and say, hey, I don't like what you're doing, I see you're very familiar with that person. That is going to breed aggression.
Right. Well, that would be like control.
Yes.
But if the person should nicely say, I notice that, there is a familiarity with Dora.
Who's she?
And Dora, calls, she calls your phone very often. I have observed at first, you openly talk to Dora, but you notice now you're
Evasive.
walking away.
You're
and,
evasive.
You know, and you're going far away. Normally people go closer to our Wi-Fi. You going closer to the gate. Away from the Wi-Fi.
Maybe that person has Wi-Fi on the gate.
So, in my opinion, it is not control to as a wife to say, you know, I observe, and you as a husband or a wife, because I'm not speaking one-sided. I'm speaking, it could be either way. That if you value your relationship and you want your relationship to continue, because I always say, if you marry for the right reasons, your intention will never be to separate or to be divorced. But if you marry for a different reason, well, there'll be absolutely nothing in it, no respect or anything. But I feel that if we are working towards a common goal, to be in a relationship, a meaningful relationship, our kids have grown up, and now it's time for us to pick up our lives, because I always say your life's going to back burner when you have kids. Because the kids, there's always something to do for kids. There is always some financial money to spend on kids. And the things that you would have liked to do for yourself, you were not able to do it because of financial constraint, because your children came first. But now we are in our retirement, or we can afford a little weekend in Tobago. I always say it doesn't have to be grandiose setting.
No.
But these are things that draw us closer to each other. These are things in moments like this. These are times when we could talk to each other about our real feeling about things.
Right.
We will be able to talk about it nicely and not just attack and say, "Am I too familiar with that woman?" You know.
No.
That's not.
And you have
it's
to.
not healthy.
Yeah, you have to keep that level of integrity.
Of course.
You have to. It's not a question of just putting
And
the
it's
person
not about
down.
a showdown. It's
No.
about want to protect your relationship
And
we
preserve
all
also.
have-
Protect it and preserve it.
We both have the rights to protect and preserve, and to be prudent.
Nice word, girl.
Yeah, I love the P words.
Oh.
So there's that. There was something else you read for me.
Let's see if we can divulge it, dissect it a little bit.
Yeah.
They say even the closest union has its exceptions.
Yeah.
No matter how close you are to someone, the laws of politeness are in order. Okay. That brings us to what you were saying this morning. The laws of politeness. The
Right.
laws of politeness. Huh?
Right.
The laws of politeness are in order. No matter how close you are to someone,
You're
the
supposed.
laws of politeness are in
Right.
order.
And you know some of the words.
You were telling me this morning, and you
Yes,
said you would
about
repeat it.
Thank you. And
Whatever
please.
happened in that situation?
Right. Now, to me, the politeness is the words like thank you, please, good morning, good night. These are pleasantries. Politeness. Right? I remember years ago, early in marriage, I might have said to you, Lance, just pass that phone for me, please. No.
Repeat.
Lance, just pass this for me, please.
No.
I said to you,
Pass that from me.
just pass that bottle for me.
Right.
Just pass that bottle for me. And you said to me, what about please?
Okay.
And I said, can you pass it for me, please? And, oh no, before I said that, when you said, what about please? And I said, between you and I don't need to say please.
Really?
And you said, no. When you make a request, you must say please. And I, from that day, never took it for granted that I could just say, pass that for me, or give me that. I want this and I want that. No.
No.
Please makes all the difference.
And that's part of the laws of politeness.
And sometimes we take each other for granted. Because I remember saying to Lance, but Lancey, I am asking you. Meaning, well, you are my husband. I don't have to say please, but that's not true. That's not true. Think about if your husband would say to you, can you make a cup of tea for me, please? Versus, make a cup of tea for me. As a wife, you will make that tea with pleasure because he said please. It's a request he's making. Okay. It's not a command. It's not a control. He's asking a favor. And if you love someone, you are going to respond to the favor that they are asking. So that is the order of pleasantries.
Listen to me. That is so beautiful. The laws of politeness.
Yes.
It's
and even if your husband do something, to say thank you. You don't have to take it for granted that he has to do it. Nobody has to do anything.
It's like, I came home, we came home, excuse me, darling. He came home.
But didn't you meet?
I will. But this piece, Dinesh, this part of the meal, Sunil, this part of the meal called for me going down like a lion on the bone and on the flesh. And I don't want to appear like a lion in this video.
Please don't, darling.
Please. So I don't want to appear like a lion, but I'm just going to, don't worry. That's good. I will, after the video, I am going to attack it, as they say, with full force.
Can you pass that bottle for me, please, darling?
Sure. Would you like some water?
Thank you.
Okay. And sometimes.
Thank you.
Sometimes you're welcome. Sometimes just simple little things. Mama Luna said thank you and please now. I'm glad
Not now, long time.
I'm glad she learned. I'm glad she learned.
But say you read the riot act for Melancy.
I'm glad she learned the lesson.
That was maybe 50 years ago you read a riot act for me boy.
But she has learned her lesson well. I believe that even before she left the carcass as a child, she knew it, eh? But coming into the city, she picked up some habits, you know what I mean?
I was taught that, eh?
Yeah.
But no.
Our generation. Generation.
Tantan always, when you want something, you ask for it, please, and you say thank you. Tantan was a woman for discipline.
That is correct.
Bless her heart.
Okay.
But sometimes in familiarity, we take each other for granted. And that's what happened maybe early o'clock. I felt, you're my husband, and if I ask you to pass that for me, I don't need to say please. But another thing I would like to say is, and I appreciated Lance saying that to me, and I didn't take offense.
That's right.
When someone gives us a good tip, you must not take offense. Because sometimes we all need some sort of, correction might be a strong word, but
let's say help.
Help or reminder or something.
Let's say help. It's a nice small
because
word.
Because correction sounds as though, gosh, I can't do nothing right.
Right. Let's say a little help along the way.
A little help along the way. And that's what we are about for each other. We are each other's keeper. So if we see, a child going wrong, but now in today's generation, things are a little different in that you don't have that kind of freedom as long ago in the village brought up the child. You don't have that anymore. And we knew that as kids growing up, elderlies always corrected you. So when Lance said that to me, I was accustomed doing it, but I might have taken him for granted as a husband. So, but we must not take each other for granted. And I would say that I appreciated Lancey doing that, because if he did not do that, I might have continued in that vein, never saying please to him and just making requests of him, pass me that, give me that, do that, And it might have been irking him over the years. At that time, I don't know I'm irking him.
That's right.
And that is why I feel
It gets blown out of
that
proportion.
communication in marriage is very important. It is not every ball we will catch, but if something has substance and it can improve your relationship, certainly talk about it. But do it in a pleasant manner,
That's
not
right.
find fault in, not, that's not a word, not like you're finding fault in the person, not that you're gonna put them down as if they are a child and they don't know. You just have to do it very nicely, use the correct words, use of friendly words, and also your timing is important. Because sometimes we have a very good message for someone, but it was the wrong timing. I think we talked this before, but these are things you could never get tired of hearing because it's everyday life. It is life. It is every day. Every day make another day. And another day it will come up again. So to be reminded is good.
I want to tell you something, Louise, please.
Sure.
Please, can I say this?
Of course.
I was telling someone very recently that one of the big things about marriage,
Thank you, Azisha.
one of the big things about marriage,
Sorry,
and
yes?
that's fine. One of the things that you have not lost is your ability to be
A little girl.
a little girl. That is nice. That is nice. I really like that. You know, you have not lost that little sense of what's the word?
Girly.
Yeah, mischief. You know. Yeah. You know. So anyway,
Sorry. You were going to, one thing I wanted to say.
I wanted to say
Is that-
this. No, not at all.
Oh.
I want a burger. So you know, I was saying recently to someone, when I look at Mama Lou now, especially when she's asleep, and I look at her gray hair,
It's so beautiful.
yeah, and I say to myself, you know, when people really found a good partner in life, and you have grown older together, don't forget the years that sacrifices were made by one spouse and the other. You don't forget these sacrifices. This person has given so much to your marriage, your life, your home, you know, your friends, your colleagues at work. And there is a real trail of success in marriage that we need to look at. You need to look at your partner, especially now that we're up in our 70s. I like to look at Mama Lou and say, you know, Mama Lou, you really gave me your best years. You continue to give me the same, maybe not with the same strength, physical, but you give me the same interest. And that, to me, is very important. I think this is what our parents had in their day. You know, difficulties might have been there, financial, other domestic difficulties, but they appreciated the help that they were to each other.
Yeah.
And that cannot be forsaken. That cannot be. What are you going to tell your young children, or your children maybe in their 20s, or your grandchildren coming up? You need to show, hey, you have been important in my life. You have helped me to reach where I am today. You know, and retirement. In our recent travels to Florida, we entered many homes that were just couples, elderly couples, maybe a single person in the home. And you think about whatever happened in this home. There was a marriage, there were friends, and then age came along, illness came along. Maybe one is facing it alone. And vital to have proper friends around, people you could, you know, not share your entire life with or your secrets with, but because you don't tell everybody everything, but you withhold back some things and you check who's your confidant. You know, it's important. But look at the person, look at them with love and grace in your mind and in your heart and say, you have given me a good start a good continuation, and you're taking me to the end of the line with love. Love is a very beautiful thing to see it being done. Now, I'm not going to be ignorant and say that there are not distractions out there, but I'm going to say that we need to be very careful. We need to be sober. We need to be on top of the game. Where your marriage is concerned, where your relationships are concerned, if you want to go into marriage. People might think marriage is an awful thing now. Maybe it is financially because people can't get the homes they need.
Financially, it's hard.
You know, but we have been able to in our time, it was affordable. It doesn't mean to say that you're going to, but things can work for people. Things can still work for people. I can't say how, but I can say, it can work. So I want to thank you for the time that you shared with us and all the good help that came our way. It was impossible to really respond to all those tremendous comments that were made on the different videos. Your prayers, your good wishes, good intentions. We really appreciate it. It was impossible to look at every comment and respond. So Mama Lou here is going to try to get some of this,
50-50?
Go ahead, 50-50.
No, boy. We have to leave for Lasana, boy.
Okay.
Well, you still have your,
Is that the correct way to cut it?
yeah.
Okay, Mama Lou, you know what you're doing, right?
Look at that, Lancy.
Oh boy, look at that. Take it easy, Mama Lou. Don't get your clothes soiled.
Azisha, delicious. Thank you very much.
Mama Lou, give me a little piece now, girl. I love this fruit, dragon fruit.
It is delicious. Yes, Azisha. Thank you, darling. Love you for that.
So my friends,
Not only for that, but that was a special treat.
you're right, put it in good perspective.
Yes, it was a special treat.
So once again, thank you very much for all the help and all the concern and all the support and for all things that work.
Wilma White, it was very nice speaking to you. Thank you very much for your concerns.
Yeah.
And
Remember,
so many have called. Geisha, thank you very much to Geisha for all your messages. And we truly enjoyed that beautiful video with your birds and your flowers. Also Mel, thank you very much. And your little son is surely growing up quickly. And many more, Tony and Shanta, Patricia Beru,
listen,
all the friends.
we have to say, to be fair to everybody, every one of you out there who support us, you are our stars. You don't need Hollywood. You are our stars. You are our stars. We really, really touch us. That's what I would do, We really touched in the heart. Where's the heart? Here. My heart was bad some time ago. Is it here? Right up there? Yeah. And those friends in Florida who took care of us, Ralph and Yvonne and Omar and
yes.
Dee and all those wonderful
Charmaine and Owen.
all those wonderful people we met. You are our
Sidonie
stars.
and Gary.
Yeah.
Oh, all our friends, they were very, very kind to us. I'm so glad that we did have that 2 weeks before Lyndon came. So at least when we returned, we knew we had a good holiday.
Yes. And you see this Hollywood here? This Hollywood can't compete with the stars who are in our lives now. So thank you very much, folks. What can we say? Keep well, be safe, enjoy your weekend,
And we love you all.
and we love. Adios.